Welcome back to the Odryssian Kingdom campaign. Let's see here, we were just gearing up to take these guys on. So, it looks like we have the movement range to initiate this engagement right now. I would almost rather bring Candy's Conquerors back because they have the artillery, but these guys are no longer in a fortified stance. Let's go with the more cavalry-heavy army, just so we can get rid of that artillery piece quickly. Even though I could outrange it if I were to bring my other artillery army, but whatever. Actually, stop. I don't want to get reinforced by the garrison, because that'll screw up which units come onto the battlefield. So I'm going to attack first with the Fury in the hopes that they will be driven away from the city. Alright. Perfect. Then we'll go ahead and bring the Fury on up and attack with Blund's bandits. I'm just going to go ahead and auto-resolve that. We have such a strong balance of power favor, and yeah, we could take less losses if we were to actually manually fight it. But right now, I'm not terribly concerned about manpower out here, since I'm not playing quite as aggressive just yet. Let's go ahead and go with a balanced stance. Okay, no terribly important units got massacred, which is always nice. Let's go ahead and just get rid of them. Alright, now, since these guys don't need as much help replenishing, we will just send them straight forward, maybe. Let me check the population here first. Okay, so we actually don't have much population in Seleucia because we just took that city not long ago. So what we'll do is we will keep the Fury here. But Blund's bandits, oh, they actually can't quite make it to the city. Okay, we'll pull them back away from the front a little bit, and then put them in the patrol stance. Go ahead and let the Fury fortify, just to try and get a little bit of extra replenishment here. Now let's see, this unit has 116 men remaining, so we could merge them out and recruit. Let's actually see what our recruiting options are here. I already have the maximum of both of those. I don't really have particularly good recruitment options, so I'll just go ahead and let those guys replenish instead of merging them out. Okay, so we are in a 100% defensive stance up here, working on getting our supply lines up to a proper level. Go ahead and continue to play defensive here, I think. We see how the supplies are looking here. So we should be slowly running ourselves out of supplies here, so let's go ahead and move into enemy territory and use their supplies instead. And I'll try and get far enough away from my own land that I can raid as well. Go ahead and bring these guys up. Okay, they got oh, they didn't get sabotaged. The game is just being goofy. Okay, now we are raiding. I'm not really doing it for the income. I'm mostly doing it because, you know what, I actually don't really know why I'm doing it. Because the raiding stance isn't particularly good for when you get attacked. And so, since I am not going to be doing any attacking with these two armies just yet, being in a raiding stance doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh well. They can't reach us within a turn anyway.
How can I assist you?
So there's not much to be concerned about over there. These guys are recruiting, so it would be nice if I can get on the offensive quickly. But we'll go ahead and give these two armies a turn to recover. Bendy's Chosen gets to just keep hanging out doing nothing. Same with the Raiders. I'm really, really shocked that the Egyptians have not attacked this army. I'm going to need to do a proper provincial check down here at some point, but for the time being, things should be okay. As far as technology, I mean, I don't like desperately need any of this, to be honest. Especially since we're winding down on the campaign anyway. Excuse me, we're winding down on the campaign anyway, and none of this is particularly important, but I'll play it like I'm going to stick with this campaign. Minus 10% Empire maintenance, absolutely. That actually sounds really nice. Alright, that should be the Eastern Front managed. Now over here, we probably need to take a turn or 2 or 3 to recover. However, doing that will give the Carthaginians time to regroup. And we don't want them to regroup and be able to hold us back. So, these fleets up here are still not really doing anything. They're probably just going to go kill those guys real quick. The garrison at Elisipo is still not up to strength, so we will continue defending it with an army. I'm going to go ahead and just go for public order and food here. Public order and supplies. Still have this army hanging out over here, Bendy's Chosen version 2. Just because this transport army is nearby. I'm actually going to pop into this settlement, because I know next turn is winter, so we won't have as much movement range, but after that, if they keep their armies away, I may actually go on the offensive here and try and take Ibasan. Up in Alalia, we will continue to sit still. Yeah, we'll just keep waiting things out up there. Alright, now down here, let's get on the move. Funky's fieldmen have pretty incredible movement range because they don't have artillery, so let's run them down here and take that city. Let's go ahead and move these guys. Should I move these guys forward just yet? Or should I be a little bit more patient? Gadir's garrison is essentially non-existent. So maybe it would be good to keep these guys here. However, the enemy doesn't have anything within range to attack. Got some transports and transports, so there's no way they could get out here. I'm gonna get aggressive. Start making some serious moves on these guys. Go scout ahead with our spy. These guys have repeatedly asked me if I'll pay them to join the war against Carthage. They haven't lately, but at least I know they're not at war with me yet. I'll probably still wipe them out before the end of the campaign, though. Just because it's, at this point, that might be better than having a divided province in Numidia. Okay. Grumpy's Guard, go ahead and just sit tight. Yeah, just sit tight. You'll be okay. Public order's still in the positive up here. Alright, that should be this turn essentially done. Make sure no one has any increase in level that we need to worry about. Make sure we keep the loyalty high. Even though the campaign's almost over, I should still play it as if I'm going to continue it. Roygos, go ahead and throw some money their way. Do you know what? Can we get an aged retainer here? Let's do that. Okay, and let's go ahead and send you off with bread and games, essentially. Go ahead and send you to Lusitania. May as well get them going the right direction early. Well, I say early, it's been several turns, but in any case, we will send him over here to get the population happy. Alright, let's end the turn. Oh, I didn't realize he still had a move order. Ooh. That is the exact reason I stayed inside the settlement instead of leaving. Because that makes defense much easier. Alright, now let's see what we're up against. It's all fleets, not very many missile units. We don't have hoplites, which is unfortunate. Our garrison is still healing. But we can obviously, if auto-resolve can win it, then we can win it. Let's go ahead and fight it. I always like having a big old battle. In terms of strategy, I have no strategy. I kind of don't want to play too defensive. But they do outnumber me. Because I've got, what, 3,500 in my army, plus 2,000 from the garrison. So I've got some 6,000, and they've got, I didn't actually pay enough attention to see how much they had. Unfortunately, these ships can't ram. If they could, I would try and ram this admiral to death right off the bat. But since they can't, we'll just go ahead and land them immediately. In terms of defenses, I would expect an attack here and here, which is pretty standard. It is possible that we'll get some guys coming on from this direction, though. Yeah, their reinforcements should be coming from the south, though. At least I would imagine their reinforcements are coming from the south and the east. Alright, well, let's see here. We're going to get the cavalry out into the open field as quick as possible. It's good that our general is... Oh, you two. It's good that our general is skirmish cav, just because it gives him more options. Alright. I really wish I could, like, put defenses out on the beach. Oh well. Alright, now let's see here. If I go ahead and put the Brimstone Pits here, and then just have one unit light them immediately, Okay, I could put up a barricade here. And then hope that they blob up enough, because I can shoot fire arrows into this to set it off. Now that I think about it, I don't need to use a unit to manually do it. I probably don't, oh, I definitely don't want to use the cav traps because they don't have any cav, so it can't benefit me. Spike traps. I think I'm just going to go heavy on this area in terms of defenses. I may put some in here as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and put some spike traps in here, or some spike pits. We'll see if we can stretch one of them out along this area. Doesn't look like it. Wonder if... I don't think putting it here will be particularly effective, but let's do it just because we can, I guess. I do actually kind of expect units to move along this, so let's put the spike traps along there. These aren't terribly important, but if I put them through here, maybe units will get burned a little bit more while they walk through. I think I'll just put all 4 of my barricades down here. I often have poor planning with my barricades and end up having to break them down so I can maneuver my units. So I'm just going to put all of them in the same spot. That'll buy me loads of time on that front so that I don't need to spend much infantry down here. Matter of fact, I'll probably just put the garrison spears in there. That's too many units. Put this healthier unit in the front. It's interesting that it forces them to deploy backwards. There we go. These 2 guys can hang out behind. You know what? These guys can actually... I'm going to change my plan a little bit here. I'm going to put those 2 in that position and then put this one right here. Hopefully I got the unit density correct. Yeah, I got it pretty close to accurate in terms of keeping both ranks about the same depth. Okay, and this is just in case they decide to land over there. I'm not going to dedicate much else to this front. How do I want to play this? I kind of want to draw them into here. I put these spears here for now. You guys can all stay on fire at will. I mean, that's a lot of swords. That's a lot of swords. At your service. These guys I want to have available out in the field. They won't be able to catch me because they have 0 cavalry. And if they get any skirmishers to chase me, I can kill it with my cav. Now I'm going to put half of the archers in the city and half of them out of the city. These guys are mostly just here to light that on fire. And even then we may not need that, depends on where the AI decides to land. These guys will all go play out in the field. Oh, I didn't realize I had more of these guys. Alright, well, since that is the case... Go ahead and just make this line all out of the unhealthy units, and we'll keep the healthier units available in reserve. Okay, the garrison general doesn't actually really matter very much. Normally I would kind of try and keep him alive, but I'm not too concerned about him this time around.
Yours to command. Spearmen, ready for orders.
I still need to decide what to do with my swords. Alright, to start out, I think I'll go ahead and deploy these Italian swords out front. They're not very important units. They're mostly just here to throw some javelins, take some javelin fire, and hold the enemy in place while we get this lit. The rest of my army, it's mostly to protect these skirmishers. The rest of the army sit here. I'm gonna have to redeploy this a bit.
Infantry at your command. Spear infantry at your command.
Now, I think since I want the experience for my good units, I think what I will do is let them fight. If I were to try and keep them alive so the replenishment was easier, I would have the garrison do the fighting first. But since I'm not planning on going on an offensive, I don't need to replenish quickly. I would rather get the experience on my actual army. Alright, this should be good enough. It's not terribly important how we set up, but I like to spend the time on it just because that's what makes this game fun for me. Defending battles are some of my favorite things to do in this game. These guys only barely have the range to even hit those traps. Okay, let's send the cav and the skirmishers out into the field. Whatever. No need to run just yet. Go ahead and fast forward while the AI is entering the battlefield. These guys can go ahead and run though. Did I do that? Oh no, it messes up my units whenever, because the ships landed. That's what happened. Alright, let's see. Javelins. Just go hang out here. Archers, I'm a little confused why it says you guys are still moving, because it looks like you should be in position already. Alright, now let's see what the AI is going to do here yet. We're taking a little bit of fire, probably from ship-mounted weapons. Just go ahead and keep waiting and see what the AI does. It's fine if these guys get shot a little bit. Okay, I shouldn't need anyone on this front. So let's bring some melee infantry out around. Alright, they're gonna get in here, so let's go ahead and light the traps. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on, stop right there. Yeah, these guys are gonna get shot, that's fine. Well, I will send one unit down here, but you two try and light the other trap. Can you light that one? Come on, come on. No? One of them can, maybe. Not expecting to get much damage out here. Oh, that was disappointing. Hey! There we go. Okay, we'll do a little bit of damage while they move in. Obviously it's not going to be a ton, but some is better than none. They're shooting into our flank, so let's go ahead and pull back. Okay, looks like they are still working on lighting some of these.
We await your command.
These guys start lighting the other one. Even though at this point it doesn't really matter because they're past all of it. I am going to need... Okay, they're all lit now.
Stop now. Advance at speed. Yes, Commander.
I am going to need plenty of infantry down here to hold this area.
Spearmen ready
So for starters, let's get our heavier spears down here.
move it. Bowman.
You guys shoot the archers. Yeah, we're going to take some pretty heavy damage here, but it's okay. I'm expecting these units to get shot pretty heavily.
Charge.
We're going to try and get some side angle shots on these guys while we can.
One of our units
Actually, you know what? No, we're not. We're just going to shoot into that. Okay, I would expect the AI to just sit back and shoot me, so let's go ahead and charge into this. I know it re-exposes our flanks a little bit, but let's go for it. Okay, they should win this engagement pretty easily.
Yours to command.
I'm not necessarily trying to win the engagement, I'm just trying to hold them in place for a little bit.
Melee infantry. Moving missile warriors. Spears ready. Bowman.
If we can get rid of a couple of these units of spears, that's great. If not, oh well. They are starting to shoot into our good infantry, though. Well, we'll try and break this unit before we bother changing targets here. Okay, let's go ahead and actually hold this position. So let's get these guys up here now. Let them use their javelins.
Your orders.
Still... Okay, so they did break the one unit. Let's go ahead and change fire. They're starting to sneak units through, but that's okay. We're wasting a lot of javelins there, so knock
As
it
you
off.
say. Our spears
You guys
are
don't get to
yours.
fire at will either.
We'll hunger for blood and battle. Spear infantry, ready. Advance at speed. Ready for orders.
Okay.
Bowman.
I'm impressed their slingers can even get shots into here. But they're not doing much damage yet, so... nothing to be concerned about. Our Italian swords are starting to take a beating, so we need to get them out of there soon.
Send the warriors.
Let's go ahead and just lob some javelins into the center there, and then I'm going to step back and form a kill box. You guys gonna... you gonna do it? There you go. That was like incredibly disappointing. Okay, target the general.
Commander.
Just keep shooting into these guys. We are not doing much damage to them. Okay, now that they're coming out into the open, you can go ahead and fire at will. Hopefully we can get some javelins out before they actually engage us. A little bit. Okay, our 3
One of our units has
archers.
used all its ammunition.
Go ahead and keep working on those slingers.
At the double.
Now, you guys have done what you needed to do. This is going to expose my flank.
Our men flee the field of battle.
Oh, wow, really?
This is a
Oh, no, that's the
shameful
Italians,
display.
okay. That's fine. Starting to think I should probably have kept all of my archers in the center. Yeah, we're going to lose the Italians, but that's okay. They did what they needed to, and that is plenty. Start moving the rest of the swords into position. Go ahead and put these guys over here as well. Almost ready to deploy the cavalry and the skirmishers, but not quite. Okay, so the Italians will actually get out of there. At least one of them will. Let's go ahead and make sure we have some attack orders here. Now, you two, can I find their general flag? It's all the way back there. Alright, whatever. Just throw your javelins at whatever you want. Okay, it's time to give them a shot with the cavalry and get rid of their skirmishers. My skirmishers can now change focus. You guys, go ahead and throw your javelins. You guys need an attack order.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Is that these guys, or is that these swords back here? Wait a minute. Did I bring a third unit over here? I don't remember having done that. Okay, I'm not sure what I messed up here, but... Oh, I may have told these guys to shoot instead of just the archers. That's unfortunate. Okay. Go ahead and keep holding. Let's actually move the javelins up to here. I kind of want to keep the javelins in reserve until their morale starts to go down. Because once they start to lose morale, we can do massive burst damage and break them, hopefully. Okay, let's start moving some more swords over here. Let's reposition with these guys a little bit. I want to get all of my javelins out there. Okay, we're not going to get a very good charge there. Matter of fact, we're not going to get a charge at all there. Okay, you guys still don't quite have the range. I am going to put you on skirmish mode, though. Okay, let's bring the archers in, put them up on this hill a little bit. Okay, let's try and reform a little bit over here before we go charging back in. These guys will do just fine. Once they get a little more tired, we'll probably switch them out. While I'm at it, why don't I go ahead and just get some javelins into there. Okay, you guys are almost out of ammo. I don't think it'll be a particularly good charge, but you know what? Change directions. Go get rid of these guys.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Now they are light missile infantry instead of very light, so they will last a little bit longer, but I still think we should be able to get them off the field pretty quickly. Does that give you guys the range you need? It does. Okay, let's go ahead and start shooting into that blob. I'm hoping their melee infantry doesn't get too aggressive against my cavalry.
Yours to command! Thracian warriors!
Okay, we have good enough flank control over there. So let's get the extra damage over here with the javelins instead. How are our guys on the front line looking? Looks like they could use a break. Let's charge in some reinforcements on this front, because these guys are, well, they're both tired. Let's go ahead and move these guys into position. Now, if this unit can get through deep enough, I'll go ahead and pull the other unit back out.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
These guys are still working on these skirmishers. It's okay if these guys take some damage. Look at all that beautiful archer fire. Alright, let's see if we can get some of these guys out of it. Okay, these guys are tired, pull them out. This unit is fresh, but all kinds of screwed up. Hate when the formations do stuff like this. It's like, just go hit that unit like I want you to. Okay, you guys go ahead and pull out of it. Okay, these units can go back into reserve. We already have replacements ready. Down here, these guys are tired, so, oops, I forgot to actually have these guys throw their javelins. Okay, I need to get these guys in quick. Because my spears are going to start to die off pretty quickly now that they're tired.
One of our units has used all its
Let's
ammunition.
reform before we go in there. Okay, we've dealt with the skirmishers. Let's pull out of it. Bring the cavalry over here just so it's ready to do stuff if I want it to. Go ahead and hold fire with the archers for now. You guys try and just get rid of that unit. I don't want them shooting at me. Okay, melee infantry, come around the flank. You know what? 3 of you come around the flank. You 2, come around to here. You guys, get ready right there. Okay, they killed their target. Good enough for me. Move up to here and get ready to chuck your javelins in there. Okay. Things are going well on the front line. We have our reserves in position. I needed to get these guys in sooner than I did, but it'll still be alright. Okay, the further in we can get the swords, the fewer casualties we'll take when we pull out the spears. Okay, we still have a lot of spears on the front line, but let's try and get them out of there now. Put the secondary unit of spears right behind. Oops. Go get rid of them. Okay. Javelins. Hit those guys. I didn't realize they still had a couple of skirmishing units in here. See if we can just swing around them with this unit. Because we're actually struggling to catch them, which meant we didn't get a particularly good charge. They're isolated, they're losing. They're actually not losing their combat, which is a bit disappointing. Alright, whatever. They'll lose quickly now. 78 on the charge. Give it a second to register the units that have fallen down and died. Okay, so we got 30 odd kills on that.
We hunger for blood
You
and
One of our
guys,
units has used all its ammunition.
you guys go ahead and get out of the way.
orders.
You lot go get in position.
Double time.
You guys fire into that. How's our front line looking now?
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Okay, they're winded. Time to rotate in another line. How are we looking over here?
Melee fighters.
I actually got that unit of spears out without
Our hidden units
terribly
have been
heavy
discovered.
casualties. I think they were at like 148 when I told them to pull out.
Ready.
So that's pretty good.
Warriors, move out. Missiles awaiting target.
You guys are not firing particularly effectively. Alright.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Okay, they don't have much left out here. You guys are still using your ammo. I do want to surround as much of this as I can so that they can't really escape. That's why I'm waiting with a lot of my
Our
missile
hidden
ammo.
units have been discovered.
Alright, let's see. Let's get the tired units out of there. Wait a minute. What? Oh, these guys aren't tired yet. I was just going to pull them out because they're starting to take some casualties. These guys, though, are tired, so they can go ahead and pull out.
Break off. Live to fight another day.
Okay, they're starting to shoot the cavalry. Not a huge problem. We'll go ahead and put you guys on fire at will now.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Okay, just give those guys a little scare. They're gonna throw their javelins at us, but that's okay. You know what? Just go right into them. Heavy shock cav versus an unbraced unit of melee infantry. We might be able to get some damage there.
The enemy general is
Enemy general
dead.
dead. That's always good to hear. Alright, javelins.
At your service.
Open fire.
Yes, Commander.
Archers, open fire. You guys need to get out of there soon, but not just
One
yet.
of our units has used all its ammunition.
Go ahead and move the infantry through. How are these guys looking? They're winded. Okay, let's send in some spears. Okay, anyone tired up here yet? Oh, I didn't send another unit to be at the front. These guys aren't even in combat. Let's make sure they get stuck in. It's interesting how much we were pushing them back just by telling our guys to actually attack. Okay, javelins, I'm actually going to give you specific attack orders instead of shooting the ground.
Ready.
Okay, let's go ahead and just pull out of that.
Gotcha.
Hopefully these guys break quickly. They do still have more coming on. Okay, let's send in some melee infantry back here just to get the route
One of our
started
units has used
quickly.
all its ammunition.
Come on.
Advance at speed.
Okay, these swords need to pull out, but the spears are not in there very deep yet. Whatever, let's go ahead and get them out of there.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay, our archers are starting to run out of ammo out here. And by starting to, I mean they are out of ammo out here. Bring the general over, have him start shooting into that. You guys go ahead and charge. Okay, we didn't take too many casualties pulling out of that engagement. Got another unit of swords ready to go. Let's go ahead and hold steady here for now. Active, fresh, winded. Okay, pull you guys out. Or gear up to pull you guys out. These guys have dealt with a target, so hit another one.
Skirmishers!
You guys can just get out of the way.
Bulls! Thracian cavalry!
Very, very poor micromanagement here. General, go ahead and fire at will, and get over here to support this unit. Okay, we need to get out of that, actually. That's not a winning fight for our cavalry. If we can trap them down with infantry, then it can become a winning fight. But right now, it is not a winning fight.
Orders! Hunger for blood and battle!
These guys shouldn't last too much longer.
Our general is under attack.
Let's hold off back here. No need to charge in just yet.
Cavalry! As you say! Charge! Ready and waiting.
These guys are mostly here to protect my flank. I think I've probably killed a lot of my own units on these spike traps. Oh, actually, maybe not. Okay, you guys still have ammo, and I'm not quite sure why. Okay, these guys are not breaking quickly enough.
Bows!
Once they do break, I'm just going to get my cavalry out of here, because this is not the kind of engagement I want my cavalry to be a part of. Okay, I don't think I need to rotate any troops on the front line right now. Come on. They're losing decisively, but they're not wavering yet. We have to get out of there. Let's give them a good old movement order spam. Why are you guys not firing? Maybe it's because they're on skirmish mode. I didn't realize I had left them on skirmish mode. Alright, let's see here. Who needs to pull out? I know someone does. It's these guys.
One of our units has used
Now
all
we're
its
looking
ammunition.
over here. Spears are winded, but they're still doing okay. These guys active. Let's bring the other unit around behind. Okay, the general didn't get the message to just get the hell out of there. So now he's gonna take a beating. I thought I gave the order enough times that it should be pretty clear. Okay, these guys are out of ammo. Go ahead and pull back. Now let's send in the spears to surround them. Go ahead and keep these guys here. Why is their movement being screwed up right there? In any case. Okay, the general is still not quite out of there. Oh, it's just because the standard bearer of the unit is over here. Let's see if we can actually get him, like, keep him alive by pulling the unit back this direction so he doesn't run right through the middle. Come on, go over here. You can do it, you can get through. Yeah, they survived. Okay, we still have enemy reinforcements entering the battlefield. These guys realistically should have pulled out and cycle charged. Okay, let's get in there with the infantry. Let's send in some fresh troops on the front. And that should see these guys off the battlefield very, very quickly. Once they lose that big old mass of troops, they shouldn't last much longer as an army. You lot try and reform. You guys just position to kill any retreating troops. Okay, good enough. Get the cavalry out of there. The infantry can go ahead and charge that, though. try and reform a little bit before we go charging into there. See if we can scare these guys off with this unit. We're not actually going to commit to that though. Just want to keep them away from the general for a little bit longer. You guys go ahead and get in there. You guys go ahead and get in there. You guys go ahead and stay in there. Okay, we should have some fresh troops back here that we can bring up to the front.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
General dealt with his target. Let's go ahead and turn these guys around. Okay, now we don't have high damage units on the flanks here. But just having them, the enemy surrounded and exhausted should be enough to get them off the field pretty quickly. Just get the skirmishers out of the way. These guys should be able to deal with that little blob easy enough on their own. Just protecting my flank out here. Okay, you guys charge through. You guys charge through. You guys are still recovering. Let's see, I want to find my healthy units. Looks like this is the healthiest one.
Spearmen, ready for orders.
You guys go countercharge them. Just go hold them in place. Let our guys keep working the flanks out here. We'll actually go ahead and send some missile troops around to help out if need be. We'll just give some mass attack orders here. Okay, General, you're not going to be the best to rear charge that. Let's see. These guys will be better for it, even though, well, they're exhausted and the General's just winded. Maybe the General will be better. Okay, we're starting to smash through pretty quickly here. Try and just make sure my guys all at least have attack orders active. Alrighty. We can probably actually catch these units of infantry with... Oh, they actually still have quite a bit here. Are they retreating or are they just glitching out? Okay, so they're not withdrawing from the battlefield just yet, so we don't want to get too aggressive and overextend ourselves. I thought the battle was over, but it's not. Okay, I think we've done a good enough job routing this clump, though. Yeah, let's pull these guys back. Okay, we'll go ahead and let the garrison troops do a little bit of the work while our actual infantry just rest for a little while. Let's see, you guys, you guys, you guys. We should have a lot of fresh troops now. But I still want to use the healthy ones instead of the injured ones. Okay, the general is not winning as decisively as I had hoped. Okay, they have a lot of melee infantry and a little cav. Okay, this unit of spears is quite healthy, so we will bring them to the front. You guys can go ahead and pull back.
The enemy general is dead.
Just try and countercharge here a little bit. Realistically, the missile units are just going to get in the way right now. I'm really hoping for the army losses penalty to kick in, but it still says they have a pretty healthy balance of power. Okay, I really need to get my cavalry to rest. Okay, we finally dealt with the clump in the middle. Let's just mass charge them here. I know it's not letting my cavalry rest like they need to, but I'm hoping to just quickly break them. Wasn't a particularly effective charge. Unfortunately, we don't have War Cry available. Okay. Starting to think about pulling out of that charge and getting ready to deal with these archers. Let's see, let's try and get our healthier units. Just throw the lot of them into a mob here. We can't charge that with the infantry so close behind. Let's actually retreat this direction. Okay, I'm probably going to let the general sit out the rest of the battle just because I don't want to get unlucky and lose him. See if a quick rear charge here can break those guys. I'm sending in the garrison troops just to try and hold them down a little bit while everyone else gets in position. Not a particularly effective rear charge in terms of instant damage, but we're doing good morale damage here. Just trying to pick and choose a couple of the healthier looking units to get them to the front. Okay. Cavalry. Just go hang out there for the time being. Infantry. Let's get out here and take these guys out, because that'll be the army losses. And if it gives me the chance to run them down, I absolutely will. I don't think I'll be able to catch very many of them, but that's not going to stop me from trying. I say, because anyone that we catch here is just less that we will have to deal with in the future. Still got quite a bit of room to chase them. Infantry, go ahead and stop pursuing. Man, exhausted cavalry moves slow. That's okay, they move fast enough. Alright, well, we did take some pretty heavy casualties, but if we kept more than like 55% of our army, we outperformed the auto-resolve, and 55% of our army would have been what? 25, 28, 28, 30 plus a little. So if we had lost 2,800, that would have been about 50% of our army, and instead we lost half of that, less than half of that. So yeah, we auto-resolve said 55%, we did about 75. Nothing fantastic, but as always, auto-resolve is kind of crap. Of course, the AI, I think part of the problem is the auto-resolve just goes based on how the AI would fight the battle, and since the AI's go-to is throw everyone in a mass charge, obviously when you're outnumbered, you're going to have problems. Hey. This guy's actually ended up getting an okay amount of kills. For how small these units are, that's pretty good. Our swords across the board doing fine. Unfortunately, we did lose that unit, but at the same time, I kind of don't really care. We'll just recruit whatever kind of auxiliary we want. Dude, these spears got tons of kills. Alright. And I think I've decided that I will end this series either when I take the province of Parsa or by the end of the 70th episode.
You have much, and
I'm expecting the 70th episode to come first, unless I start auto-resolving a lot more battles. But I think that'll be a decent enough stopping point. Because that should be another 4 episodes. Because this will be the 66th, so 67, 68, 69th, and 70th after this. We'll see if I can take Parsa in that time, but I am not expecting it. Alright. 2 of our guys got old and died. Aw, Funky's Field, man, that's unfortunate. Let's obviously pick people out of the Odryssian dynasty. This guy's probably a little old, but he does have experience per turn for his army. I'm really, really liking having these horse archer generals. Heralds of Death, good job. Okay, plus 10 loyalty is always good to see. Alright. Well, we'll end this one right here. Let me see. Well, real quick, actually, we'll just take a quick moment. Now, let's see. If I were to be more efficient with mercenaries and merging units and recruiting kind of lower quality stuff, how long would it realistically take me to get Susa, Parsa, and Gore, which is right here. Three turns to get to Susa, 5 to get to Parsa. So if I pushed as fast and hard as I could and didn't get counterattacked at all, I could probably take this province before the 70th episode. But we'll get started into that in the next one. So anyway, we will see you guys soon.